So
I got a new little pointer thing that's going to help me out with this.
Whoa!
Whoa,
Look at
technology!
that.
How's that happening?
Whoa!
Who's doing
Oh
that?
my
Who's
goodness.
doing that? Today in the nerdy news you need to know about, we're about to get a lot more Star Trek, we're about to get a lot more Superman, we just got a lot more Spider-Man, but we're not going to get any more dial-up. This is Eat Sleep Nerd, a show where you can check out, go AFK, and relax with us as we discuss all things nerd. I'm your show host, Corey Winter, and joining me here we got the nerds, Jason Summer.
Hey!
We got Cynthia Winter,
Salutations.
and we got Josh Winter.
I'm in a different seat and I'm uncomfortable.
So, welcome back, y'all. Ooh,
Y'all.
I have never said y'all.
Wow.
Ugh. My bad.
The South has finally taken its toll on you.
You are born and raised in Alabama.
We're in the middle of filming for our Eat Like a Hobbit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Segment.
we're very full.
We're all very full and very happy.
I'm feeling fat. And
I don't feel
sassy.
too full.
No,
though.
it's not full. So we've already had first breakfast and second breakfast, and it's actually not a lot. It sounded like a lot when we were putting it together, but it felt very refreshing.
It feels
It's
very
very-
correct.
I feel sated.
It's real food.
I don't feel full.
Yeah. Like it's not artificially calorie dense.
We've had all of our food groups
We have.
Yes.
just in first and second breakfast.
That's right.
It's the first time I've ever had a vegetable at breakfast.
Tomatoes are not a vegetable.
That's right.
Mushrooms are not a vegetable.
Mushrooms are a fungus.
Among us.
You're a fungus.
Among us.
Among us.
Shut up, you mushroom.
Yeah, so this episode we're doing right now is coming out August 19th. So be on the lookout for our Eat Like a Hobbit video that's coming out in the next few weeks. Eat Like a Hobbit Days.
September 22nd,
You were close.
which is also Bilbo and Frodo Baggins' birthday.
Oh.
That's probably why it's Eat Like a Hobbit Day.
Mhm.
Yep. Checks out.
So be on the lookout for our Eat Like a Hobbit video. We'll probably be airing that early September before Eat Like a Hobbit Day actually airs. So you can actually, watch along with us, figure out how to actually eat like a hobbit yourself, and all that fun stuff. So it'll be a little bit different for us, a different type of video.
Would highly recommend eating like a hobbit.
So
We're
far, it's been great.
2 out of 7 meals in, and this is the best day of my life.
Yeah. So aside from that, nerdy stuff.
Yo. Yeah.
You guys been nerding out recently?
Yes.
You go
Okay,
first.
All right.
No, mine's not nearly as exciting.
Okay.
Well, then we need to build up. So you start.
Okay. I mean, it's exciting to me, but it's not exciting to y'all because I'm the late.
What is it?
Star Trek Strange New Worlds.
Yeah.
That's super nerdy.
Yes, I know, but you've all seen it and I haven't. So I'm watching it for the first time from the beginning. I just got into season 3. I'm 1 episode into season 3, so hopefully I'll catch up before this
So
upcoming
Hedge-
you're
hedge
into
money.
you're into the stock options episode, the hedge money.
Hedge money.
we just we just finished the part 2, the opening of season 3
Okay.
for that one.
Hey, Jiminy.
Yum.
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 Arr.
But no,
But-
it's excellent.
Yeah, you're liking it.
I love it.
Isn't it so Star Trek?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's I really enjoy that, like, you still get all the seriousness of Star Trek, but you also get the complete lack of seriousness sometimes. Like, there's so much comedy in it.
Yeah.
And it's not just, oh, we've been too serious, so now we have to have some comedy to break it up. Like, it's just part of the show. It's just comedic. And
Well,
I really enjoy
There's
it.
some camp to it.
Yes.
And anybody who's watched the original series, it was a little campy.
Yeah.
And I think that they're pulling from that,
Yeah.
particularly because it's a lead up right to the original series timeline.
Mhm.
So
And-
yeah, it all makes sense.
And, I mean, I know I'm missing most of the Easter eggs that are in there, but I know there are so many. I'm not missing that many. I'm getting
Yeah.
quite a few of them, but I know there are some that I'm missing, and it's just so well done.
Did you say you had watched some of the original, the Next Generation one?
Oh, yeah.
All right. So then, when you saw the crossover with
Lower Decks.
Lower Decks,
Mhm.
there were some Next Generation references. that
Yeah.
I'm sure you got.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the thing I really liked about that crossover, and after I watched it, my mom even called me and she was like, "Did you get this?" And I was like, "Yes, I got that one." But at the very end, when they go back to their own realms, timelines, whatever you want to say, and Boimler's talking to somebody, I can't remember, and he's like, "Yeah, thanks for helping me with all the TOS era stuff." And it was like, those old scientists, and I was like, "That's not what that stands for."
That was.
That
I
was
admit, I
cute.
thought that was a little shoehorned in, but I accepted it.
It
was
like
fine.
you
Well, it's
had
a
to
running
put it in
joke
there.
on the Lower Decks.
Yeah.
Right, yes, those
They
old
use the abbreviations we use in real life, but they always have a cute way of explaining why
Yeah.
they're using that abbreviation.
right.
And I
Yeah.
thought, oh, the thing that got me the most and Corey can attest to this. We were sitting there watching this. I don't remember what episode it was, if it was season 1 or season 2, but the first time that Kirk and Spock meet, and they zoom in close and they shake hands, and then they sit down at the table with Uhura, and it's just Kirk and Spock and Uhura, and they're all sitting at the table, and I'm like, it's them! They're doing
They
the
did
thing!
the
The three of them
thing.
right there. And it was a big moment.
Josh.
I've been warhammering.
All right. Yeah, you're back into it.
I'm back into it.
All right.
So I got some speed paints. I've been putting together things like crazy. So we are going to start doing some warhammering. I think we're going to focus more on kill team than the big armies. Because it's more fun. You can swap around quicker, and it requires less space, which we have a limited studio. And it's fewer models to paint. Like, it's a smaller game, but that's also why it's more fun, and why some reports are showing that it's actually currently the most popular way to play Warhammer is actually kill team. So I'm excited. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun.
And are shortening attention spans.
So according to China, this is the most popular way to play Warhammer. But I mean, I enjoy it. I'm having fun.
All right.
So yeah, Warhammer. Woo.
Warhammer, woohoo! Jason.
I took a short trek to Maine to see some family.
A short
trek.
Short trek.
Short trek.
By the way, if you're watching Star Trek and you haven't watched Short Treks, you should. They're really good.
Yeah, I was trying to tie it into Star Trek somehow,
Okay.
but
Yeah, I was thinking about it before I said I couldn't do it. So yeah, if there was a way I would have done it. You know that. Okay. So that was really nice. I got to see the Atlantic Ocean, step on a rocky coast, and just kind of look at the ocean. It was gorgeous, and had some lobster.
Oh,
I was about to say,
Yes.
there's a distinct lack of lobster in the studio right now, Jason.
I have to. I brought stuff and I forgot to bring it. Okay, I bought it, but anyway. So that I did that. I've been catching up on some series. On my own. I've been watching Strange New Worlds, Resident Alien with Alan Tudyk,
Nice.
which is hilarious, and also really touching. They've got a great mix with that. Every episode, I tear up a little bit and laugh my ass off. And
it's
then
the best combo.
yeah,
Mhm.
it really is. And then I've been playing Baldur's Gate 3, and I'm finally getting towards the end.
I don't think
Oh.
I have finished Baldur's Gate 3 yet.
I'm finally I'm wrapping up some quests now.
Can
like
you
I'm,
finish it? Like, is that even possible?
Yes, yeah, it is.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
is.
It takes
But-
like 100
there's-
hours, but yeah, you
I
can do
am okay. I'm like 150 hours into this.
See?
Yeah, but I finally completed all the quests that I have to do to finish the game. But I'm wrapping up some other side quests. I don't want to get knocked out. And it's such a great game. I know it's an older game now because it came out 23.
A couple years ago, yeah.
Yeah. But if you haven't played Baldur's Gate 3, you should
It
do
is
it.
so good.
It's so
So good.
immersive. They do a really good job of connecting you with your party characters. And the backstories on them are fun, and they will flesh out your side quests.
Yeah.
But they're worth it. And then you of course get really great rewards and loot from doing that.
Loot.
Yeah,
God, I have so many legendary pieces of equipment now that I'm almost overpowered.
What class are you playing as?
I am playing an Oathbreaker Paladin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Toy.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
I just know as soon as I start playing Baldur's Gate 3, it will consume my life.
Yes.
yes, it
That's
will.
why
Yes.
that is the
Yeah.
only reason I haven't started playing it yet.
You
is
almost need to
because-
like plan a weekend.
Yeah, like
this is-
I am too busy right now to play
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate 3.
because you can't do anything in 30 minutes. You can't do
Yeah.
anything in an hour.
Yeah.
2 hours you can do something. You can
Yeah.
progress a game a little bit in 2 hours. But it's almost like you need to plan a day.
Yeah.
And just
This is
Yeah.
what I'm doing today.
this is what
Yeah.
your thing is for the day.
So
Which you should
instead-
do that anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should get away.
Self-care.
So
Yeah.
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 So yeah, that's what we did. Corey, what have you been doing?
I'm glad you asked, Jason. So I have picked my latest target for getting a platinum trophy on PlayStation 5.
Oh,
I'm so close to the platinum. So the game is The Altars, and so it hasn't been a big
Is that
title.
good?
It's so good. It's so
Okay.
good.
Even just watching it, it's such a good game.
yeah.
I've
It's-
not heard of this. Tell us about it.
So, the concept is there's so many genres mashed together. But the overall story idea is that you are this astronaut that is on this mining mission to a faraway planet, and the game opens up. So it's not a spoiler. The game opens up with your ship crash landing on this planet, and you very quickly discover, like in the first 5 seconds, you very quickly discover you are the only surviving member of your
Alright.
ship.
Okay.
And so the ship was full of specialized people. So you had someone that was good at mining, someone that was good at science, someone that was good at fixing the ship. So a bunch of specialized people on this ship. So very quickly, you realize you're the only person remaining. So you actually find your ship on this planet, and you realize you have to find a way to get to this other part of the planet so you can be rescued.
Okay.
But this ship that you're using to travel this planet is so extravagant that you need other people to help you move it. And
Okay.
so the ship part of it is actually like a base builder type of game. So you're actually like adding modules to your ships. Like you end up adding dorm rooms to it. You add a research module to it. You add like different,
Movie theater.
like a movie theater to it. You add,
That seems superfluous.
you'll realize
You'll
why.
get,
Okay.
yeah.
So you said-
So, yeah.
okay.
So since you're on this planet alone, you get to actually move your ship. You end up contacting Earth, and Earth is just like, so there's this thing on your ship that can help you out. You can actually create clones of yourself.
Oh.
But using this special computer, you can actually create and alter the timelines of your clones, so you can actually pick where your life veered off in a different path.
oh, that's
where
cool.
it
Mhm.
creates different skill sets for your clones. So in the life path, you can figure out where in your life path you would have diverged to be more of a scientist than a miner.
What a great
it basically
hook.
like
Yeah.
it pulls out
Oh.
on this map. It shows you all these crossroads moments in your life
Yeah.
where, like, at 7 years old, you did this instead of this. So if you go this way, you'll become the doctor. Or at 23, you came to this crossroads. If you'd gone this path, you would have become a botanist. Stuff like
Yeah.
that. It's
Yeah.
so cool.
So there's
That is
that part of
cool.
it. So it's
Okay.
actually, so you end up creating clones of yourself.
That's cool.
And there's like the Sims aspect to it, where you have to make sure they stay happy and stay fed and stuff like that. So
That's
you
where
have
the
to,
movie theater comes in.
yeah. So you have to make sure you're always making more food for them, make sure they stay happy, all that fun stuff. But there's also like an exploration part of it. So you actually go out onto the planet to mine resources and stuff like that. And you actually have to assign your alters to actually go and work these mining outposts and things. It's so awesome.
I mean, it also gets into like, there's a ton of morality issues in it. And then there's also like, it's not just, it is like The Sims. I talk as if I played it. I've watched him play this for weeks, but you get into the morality, and you also get into the, like, yes, you have to have basic care for all your alters, but also like interpersonal issues. And like, there's some mental health issues that happen with some characters, and you have to help manage that and
I
build
was
your
gonna
base
ask
around
if
that.
there are like any negative ramifications. Are
Oh.
there like
Oh, yeah.
Are there life choices where they die off?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so there's also the butterfly effect aspect of it,
Mhm.
where I think there's 8 or 9 different clones you can make, but you can only make 6 max in a playthrough.
Okay.
So you have to pick and choose which alters you actually want to use during that playthrough. And so if you don't make a botanist, then you don't have someone that's specialized in making growing plants and stuff. Or if you don't make the doctor clone, then you don't have someone that's good at healing your clones.
So that might cause issues with some things that happen on the ship if you don't have this person.
Yeah.
Cool.
I've seen you play through it like 4 times at this point, and I still want to sit down and play it.
Yeah, so I'm on my 4th playthrough because the platinum requires you to complete the storyline for each individual clone.
Got it.
So since you can't make all of them in one playthrough, you have to go back and do it multiple times. So I'm
It's so cool.
Yeah.
Like, that was a great surface review of it, and there is so much more. It is so
it's
neat.
very story heavy. But anyway, highly recommend the alters if you like, base building, story driven.
That sounds fascinating, actually.
very cool stuff.
And it's
Very
on Game Pass.
It is on Game Pass.
Is it also on PlayStation or is it just Xbox?
I'm playing it on PlayStation.
Okay.
I think I paid for it. I don't know. Well, all of that said, before we get into the news, make sure you share our show over on social media. Our YouTube channel is youtube.com/@eatsleepnerd. Please leave a like on this video as you're watching along. Leave some comments down below if you want to join in on the conversation. But all of that said,
Wait. I have to say this. And this came up in a conversation I had yesterday with somebody.
Okay.
We had a video go viral and across several different platforms. It hit upwards of 400,000 hits, right?
it gets them choked up.
Sorry, 400,000 hits, right?
Yeah, it's all good.
It maybe generated what, 50?
Actually, no, probably about 100.
Okay, about 100. Okay. All right. We need more of you to subscribe. There should have, like, that ratio seems off.
This is us begging.
No.
If
I'm
you
just like,
enjoy
if you
this-
enjoy this, just hit the like. Just, subscribe. Subscribe the thing. Yeah. So come on. You're enjoying our stuff and not doing your part. Your part is subscribing. Thank you very much.
We need to
You may proceed.
Photoshop some tears
Yeah, I'll see if I can do that.
Play some Sarah McLachlan.
in the arms.
All right. Well, let's get into the meat of the show. Josh,
Word.
do you want to get into the nerdy news?
Hit it.
All right, we have a few stories to talk about today. The first one we're going to talk about is Star Trek.
I'm in.
So,
So
I got a new little pointer thing that's going to help me out with this.
Whoa!
that.
Whoa,
Look at that.
technology!
Look at that.
How's that happening?
Whoa.
Who's doing that?
Oh, my goodness.
Who's doing that? All right. So, now that the $8 billion Paramount Skydance merger has officially closed,
that is so much money.
the newly minted leaders at the company have come out and said that the Star Trek franchise is a priority for the company. These updates come from the newly crowned CEO of Paramount, David Ellison,
Oh, that's who that is. Okay.
hosting a meet and greet for journalists this past week following the company merger being finalized. Pulled from articles at both Deadline and The Hollywood Reporter, Paramount Pictures co-chairs Dana Goldberg and Josh Greenstein. Can you guess which one's which?
Hang on.
All right. They
I
both,
don't want to make any assumptions.
all right. They both singled out the long-running franchise by saying, and I quote, Star Trek is a priority across the company. End quote. They went on to say that Star Trek would be looked at holistically rather than siloed off between different parts of the company, such as film and TV. And I quote, we're going to make sure those conversations are happening together so that we can do what's best for the brand as a whole.
I like it.
Said film co-chief Dana Goldberg. Deadline's reporters went on to say that Paramount is already at work developing a new film in the Star Trek franchise that features brand new characters. It has the Andor director Tony Haynes on board, with Seth Smith writing and Simon. Why can't I say that? Simon.
That was a struggle.
Simon Kinberg and J.J. Abrams producing.
Nice.
Additionally, the studio has another Star Trek film in development that would feature Captain Kirk, Spock, and the rest of the usual characters returning from the Abrams producing and Stephen Yaki writing franchise. And this may even presumably be Star Trek IV, the sequel to 2016 Star Trek Beyond. So, all of that said, before I ask you guys some specific questions, how does it make you feel, Star Trek being a priority at Paramount?
I do love that we're going to continue the tradition of bringing back actors who are getting really old to keep playing their Star Trek characters.
Right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I loved Chris Pine as Kirk. I don't know if he's aged out at this point.
Yeah.
You know, I guess
Would they
maybe it
push
depends on
forward?
his-
Would they push forward at this point into him getting his admiralty and doing
Yeah.
new generation,
Yeah.
the Wrath
I
of
was-
Khan?
I was just thinking about
Uniforms?
that. Yeah. Because I'd like to see those uniforms come back anyway. Those are my favorite Star Trek uniforms.
They're definitely iconic. I don't know if I'd call them my favorite.
They are my favorite. Yeah,
But they're awesome.
The Star Trek 2 uniforms are what we're talking about.
The monster maroon.
Yes. But that would make sense though if it was later in his career.
Don't worry
Now that we
about it.
know that Star Trek is a priority at Paramount,
Right.
are we worried that we might be getting too much Star Trek?
Yes.
It's certainly possible, but you also have to remember how much of Star Trek has ended over the last year.
Yeah.
So like Discovery wrapped up, Lower Decks wrapped up. Strange New Worlds now has an expiration date. So you've got to think a lot of these new shows are not going to start coming out until after most of the current lineup is done. Because if we're just now announcing that we want to do shows, it'll be at least a year of pre-production.
Yeah.
And then they'll greenlight what they want to greenlight, and then you start pre-production. So you're still like another 3 years away from actually getting any of this. So by then, literally everything that's currently in production will be wrapped up, with the exception of the new one, Starfleet Academy,
Mhm.
assuming it keeps going.
So that will be the filler.
Mhm.
Yeah. See, I'm after observing the Star Wars travesty, I think is a good way to put it, of just an abundance
Saturation.
and oversaturation of product. I think that having a continuous flow, even if it's spaced out correctly, having a continuous flow of Star Trek is a bad thing. I think we need time to miss it.
Yeah.
That's true.
One of the great things, for me, the only great thing about Star Wars Episode 1 was the fact that it came 16 years after the last Star Wars episode, Episode 6.
Yeah.
Return of the Jedi. And now Phantom Menace sucked, but we were all excited for it.
Jason was old when he went to see the Phantom Menace.
I was 20.
That's
You were
old for Star
old.
Wars.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen the recent George Lucas quote saying that Star Wars is meant for 12-year-old boys?
Yeah.
So-
Like that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, then I feel good that I didn't like it.
Whereas I was literally like 10 or 11
Yeah.
when that movie came out.
5 years,
It slapped.
5 minutes into the movie, I'm like, this is gonna suck. Like I knew it anyway. But we missed it. We were so excited for it. Like I remember the anticipation building up. And I think we need to do that again. Like give us 5 years between product. Give us 7 years between product. Like, yeah, we'll miss it, but that gives you time to write new stories, have fresh stories, fresh actors. And it gives room for other things to come out that aren't an intellectual property that's been overused. So we need time. I think we need time. I think it's a bad idea.
So, for Star Trek, do we want a Star Trek 4? Specifically with
general.
this cast.
Sure. Yes, I absolutely want one with this cast.
Okay.
I thoroughly enjoyed the Abrams movies.
Yeah, me too. The first one was great.
First one was great. The second one,
the second two. Were
I know
great.
you didn't like the second one. I thought the second one
I
was
like
amazing.
Beyond. Beyond was good. No, that was Into Darkness. I like
Yeah.
Into Darkness.
Benedict Cumberbatch just chewing up the scenery.
Yeah.
He was not a good Khan. He was
He
poorly
was an
cast for Khan.
amazing con.
Poorly cast for Khan.
Fight.
No,
I'm just
I'm
saying.
factually right. He was
No,
an
no,
amazing.
I'm factually right. You compare him. First of all, he was not Hispanic or Latino or
Con
Wait,
is supposed to be Indian.
right. Indian. Okay,
I
but
mean,
he wasn't.
Carlo
being-
Montalban was not.
He was not Ricardo
but-
Montalban.
Benedict Cumberbatch
he was
is
nothing like Ricardo
white.
Montalban. Is what I was saying. Is what I was trying to say. He was nothing like Ricardo Montalban.
So if he'd had his chest out the entire time, would it have sat better?
I don't think it would have been big enough.
Carlo Montalban had a glorious chest.
Body shaming over here.
I'm not. No. It's not body shaming. It is. Yeah. So the thing is with Star Trek is like there was a point at which the timeline split.
Yep.
So prior to that point, anything that we knew about the Star Trek universe had to have happened.
Sure.
So it had to have been a Ricardo Montalban type character that played Khan.
Yeah, there's apparently a Star Trek comic that explains why he's suddenly a pasty white dude.
From Britain.
Yeah,
Okay.
never watched it.
Okay.
Or never.
Anyway.
Anyway.
So yeah, that's why I didn't like it. Also, the reverse of the
Who
Kirk
dies?
and the Kirk and the Spock storylines. I didn't like that either. But yeah, anyway. But I would like a fourth one if it was as good as the first one.
No.
That's what I'm saying. The other two are factually mediocre.
Let's move into our next story. And moment of silence. In a move that is echoing the end of an era, AOL has announced that it will shut down its iconic dial-up internet service on September 30th, 2025, nearly 34 years after launching when the web was in its infancy. Once the ubiquitous gateway to the World Wide Web, you might remember this distinctive dial-up tones and that signature greeting, "You've got mail."
You've got mail.
Yeah, right. AOL's service played a pivotal role in bringing millions of Americans online during the 1990s and early 2000s. The company, now under Yahoo's umbrella, shared the decision quietly via its help portal, explaining that as part of routine product evaluation, both the dial-up service and its companion software, the AOL Dialer and AOL Shield browser, will be discontinued. Despite broadband and wireless technologies rendering dial-up nearly obsolete, a small fraction of households, estimated between 160,000 and 250,000, still relied on it, often in rural and hard-to-reach areas where faster options remained scarce. AOL will continue offering email and subscription services like identity protection, but for many, that familiar dial-up tone will soon be a relic of the past.
I mean, it should have been 15 years ago.
I'll be completely honest. I didn't know you could still have dial-up
Yeah.
past like the mid
Same.
2000s. Like I
Same.
didn't know that
And you still can for one more month.
for one more month. I thought it was already completely obsolete.
I am shocked it's that many people.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too. That's a surprising number.
I mean, for parts of like, I don't know, Montana,
I was about to say,
Wyoming, like the middle of nowhere places.
But I guess the AOL portion of dial-up is not needed anymore. Like you can still have dial-up internet without it being AOL.
But
Like
the
it could
point is
be-
that AOL is big enough to say we're just not doing it anymore.
well, yeah.
Mm.
Well, didn't you say it was under Yahoo now? Yahoo.
Yeah.
Yeah, AOL was
Yeah.
bought out by Yahoo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't give a single Yahoo whether or not you need.
Do you remember
dial-up
this
internet.
commercial? Yahoo.
Yeah.
Remember those?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Who?
Yahoo.
All right, Elon has an opportunity here to swing in and be like, if you need dial-up, I'll give you half off Starlink.
Yeah.
That actually wouldn't be a bad deal. Especially because, yeah, I mean, it's mostly for rural areas.
Yeah, because it's satellite, not
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a big part of my young adult life, AOL, because that was how we got on the internet.
If you're older than 30, you can remember the dial-up tone.
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely.
Having to share the internet and the phone with your household.
Yeah,
Mhm.
right. Get off the phone, or
Trying
get
to
off
get
the
on the
internet. I'm
internet.
trying to make a
Yeah.
phone call.
Yep.
Um,
Or that one picture is almost half loaded and someone calls the house.
or somebody picks up.
Yeah.
Or somebody picks up to make a phone call. What else? I met so many girlfriends through Instant Messenger, ASL.
Oh, wow.
Most of them, well, I was gonna say they probably all thought I was crazy too, but most of them were just nuts. But they probably thought I was nuts too. So I'm not gonna.
Well, you were internet dating 20 years too early.
You were too ahead of the times, Jason.
You trendsetter.
Oh, they were with me. I mean, it wasn't like I was by myself. But yeah. So goodbye, AOL.
Rest in
Dial-up.
peace.
Rest in
Rip.
peace. Rip.
Moving into our next story, Superman. So, DC Studios co-CEO James Gunn has revealed the Superman saga while discussing his ongoing work on the follow-up to this summer's Superman. I'm reading from articles by Wesley Yinpold, IGN, and Kristen Chua at The Hollywood Reporter. While promoting Peacemaker Season 2, which follows the events of Superman as part of the newly established DC universe, Gunn has said that he's already finished the treatment for, quote, the next story in what I'll call the Superman saga. The treatment is done, which means a very, very worked out treatment. I'm working on that and hopefully going into production on that not too far away from today. What exactly this Superman saga includes is unknown. Does it encompass next year's Superman or Supergirl movie? Perhaps that will depend on whether David Cornsweat's Superman turns up. But we do know it includes Gunn's next writer-director project, which Warner Brothers CEO David Zaslav confirmed in a recent financial call. At the time, Zaslav described it as the next installment in the Super family. Gunn has spoken in the past about this next movie, which sounds like it's sort of a Superman sequel, but isn't really. Speaking to Entertainment Weekly, Gunn said, "Is it a straight-up Superman sequel? I would not say that necessarily." So,
What a vague answer.
yeah.
Mhm. He loves doing that.
And I'm fine with it because I don't really want to know.
Yeah.
It
And yet you'll
surprised me.
still see every spoiler before you go
Yeah.
see anything
Yeah.
anyway.
Not by chance, not on purpose.
Just get off the internet, Jason.
But as
Get out
we
of the
get
AOL
into
chat rooms.
as we get into the DC universe, is this too much Superman right out the gate?
I mean, I liked it so much it doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like we're getting into the world of Superman, not actually just Superman. So, I mean, I'm fine.
Yeah, he
with
even
that.
says he doesn't want to call it a straight up sequel.
So, like,
Mhm.
we're probably talking about a Supergirl movie. We're probably talking about. I mean, what else? What
maybe
else would
maybe
be?
a team up with the two of them where he's
Yeah.
not just the straight up lead.
Right, or something with. I think it would be a bad idea. That's something where it's crypto heavy. I think crypto being used like a seasoning is good.
Yeah.
Crypto seasoning.
But,
You don't eat just a bowl of parsley.
right.
Right. Yeah.
Or just a bowl of salt and pepper.
Yeah.
This
Speak for yourself.
weirdo.
Didn't you know we're adding an 8th meal to our Eat Like a
Okay.
Hobbit day and it's just a bowl of parsley?
It's just
So,
Good for
herbs
digestion.
and seasoning.
so the only thing that I don't know doesn't worry me, it irks me a little bit, is the entire pitch for the DCU was, hey, we're going to try to do it right this time.
Mhm.
There's going to be a roadmap. It's going to all be planned out. We're going to do it sequentially in an order that makes sense, and we're only going to do the ones that we think will be good. Now, Superman comes out. Superman was well received. Superman made, despite what everyone's saying, a lot of money. And I was like, well, now we're going to make more Superman. It's like, well, hold
Yeah.
on. I thought there was a plan and that we were going to stick to the plan. Now, I get it. We kind of set the expectation with it because we also said, we're going to make what's good. maybe what's good also includes what we think will make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Which is fair. It's a business. Everyone always forgets that part. It is a business. They want you to be entertained, but mostly they want your money. And so if Superman is doing hot, yeah, we're going to make another Superman. I would be shocked if you didn't.
Yeah.
So that's the only part that is kind of like, I don't know.
Like the fact that he's already written it,
yeah,
kind of makes it seem like it's going to be like the next thing rather
Yeah.
than something like
where
a Wonder
what are we doing with
Woman
Batman?
or-
Yeah.
What are we doing with Wonder Woman?
Yeah, but gods. So we're in the gods and monsters section right
Yeah.
now, right? So Batman doesn't fit into that. I don't think.
He is a god.
And we're already getting the Batman part 2,
But-
which that is at least filling
That'll
the
fill
Batman void.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But
The
a
Bat
Supergirl movie would make sense
Yeah.
as part of the gods part of, unless she's evil and then she'd be monsters. Of course, God, I'm making a big assumption about monsters. Monsters is a neutral term. It's not like good or bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. But
You're being
all you monsters out
speciesist.
there, I'm sorry.
You're being speciesist.
I didn't mean to make an assumption or generalization about monsters. I'm sorry. Anyway, but but Wonder Woman would fit in that, I think.
Yeah.
So we would need a Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
I think so. I think the expectation would be maybe the Supergirl movie, which I think is what everybody's referring to, honestly, and then a Wonder Woman movie. I think that would be the way to go.
How about more Harley Quinn?
I saw that he was kind of
Yeah.
dodging that a little
Yeah.
bit.
In a related story that's sure to get Henry Cavill fans more worked up than Henry Cavill fans. In an interview with Entertainment Weekly's Sydney Buxbaum, when asked if there will be a new Harley Quinn or if she will continue being played by Margot Robbie, Gunn said, and I quote, "That will be refilled down the line."
Okay.
While Gunn remained tight-lipped on further explanation, he did reveal further details about another Suicide Squad member that he wants to bring back. And I quote, "I definitely am always looking for a place to put Bloodsport and figuring that out," Gunn says of Idris
Okay.
Elba's mercenary from the 2021 movie. So we'll see what happens, end quote.
I did like Bloodsport. Bloodsport was good.
But is he hinting that he wants to use Idris Elba?
Well, no, he already said he wanted to bring back Idris Elba for us.
So, if we're bringing them back, possibly,
Right.
come on. He
So
can't pick
that
and choose.
raises the question. We know Superman's been Supermaning for 3 years. So he's an established Superman.
Right.
Is this the Superman that Idris Elba shot with a kryptonite bullet? And is that why they got rid of all the kryptonite on Earth?
But that would I saw something online about this, about what this new Superman's timeline meant about that particular quote, because this was the first battle he's lost.
That's true.
Mhm.
That would make sense.
So the answer would have to be no, unless he still won the battle,
Yeah.
but it was like a Pyrrhic victory.
But we've seen that he has a very strong reaction to kryptonite.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So I would have to imagine if he got shot with kryptonite, it'd probably take him out.
Yeah. But
I don't know.
where was he shot?
Yeah,
Like
that's
leg,
true.
arm.
Yeah, got him in the
So I
toe
mean,
or
I
Pinky
guess
something.
it could be
Yeah.
anyway. But I would love to see Idris Elba back. I always love seeing Idris Elba in a role. I don't think he's celebrated enough, honestly.
No.
Margot Robbie. I don't know.
That was the perfect spot for the doo 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 doo, the Windows shutdown noise. That's what we're talking about.
I think I got stuck on a thought I had before you mentioned Idris Elba, and that got shoved into this little slot right here. Yeah, if we're going to be using Idris Elba, then we should bring her back as well.
But she is so ingrained with the past DC universe because she was in the first Suicide Squad.
So was John Cena.
He was in the second one.
But what I'm saying
I mean,
is,
I see what you're saying. But
yeah, I mean, like he's clearly fine with using actors, older
Who've already
actors
done it,
from
yeah.
from the Cavill era in the same roles. So he's already broken that barrier down. I don't think it should be an issue.
Again, I still think, I mean, and I would like to point out, and we can cue up the clip if you want to, but weeks ago, I predicted that literally, if it's not supposed to be canon for the new canon, we're just going to ignore it. And like, we're just not going to talk about it. And then literally like the next week, James Gunn was just like, yeah, if it's not in the flashback, it just didn't happen.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I called it. If it's not supposed to be there, just don't worry about it. Don't take it so seriously. It's a comic book movie.
But is that too confusing though?
You
I
know-
think in all honesty, like it's really not as complicated as we're making it. I think this is a nerd thing
Sure.
where we hyper fixate on things because we're all a little autistic. And And no, I mean that's a proven correlation. That's not even embarrassing. And no, so like we hyperfixate and we want everything to make sense and everything to line up perfectly. No, this is the starting point of the universe. If you see it after this starting point, it's canon. If we don't talk about it or we don't reference it, it wasn't canon. So that's all you need to know. Anything that happened before Creature Commandos, if we don't specifically talk about it later, it didn't happen. It's
Yeah.
not that deep.
The fun is in all the theories, though.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why we do it. Like,
I mean, yeah. No, I mean, I'm just saying, like, it's just on this specific conversation of what counts, what doesn't count. If they say it counts, it counted. If they don't say it counts, it didn't count. It's not that deep. Let's just move on and enjoy the stuff. We're entering the golden age of DCU stuff. Let's just go. And I love Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn.
How bought into the new DCEU we are.
Because I see hope.
Or the DCU.
I see potential.
DCU, sorry.
Yeah. Because like when we were getting the DCEU stuff, I feel like the people who were making it weren't even excited that it was coming out. Like I don't feel like the studio was even on board.
I was just about to say it was clear that they weren't even all on the same page.
Yeah.
They weren't even reading the same book.
Yeah. So to have the people in charge of making the decisions also being the people who are making the stuff.
Yeah.
Like that's I don't know, that's a very hopeful, optimistic probability enhancer that maybe this won't sink and burn.
Sure.
Like the people who are making it are the people who get to decide what gets made.
Yeah.
That's a good situation to be in.
Sure.
So I don't know. I'm just very optimistic. I'm very hopeful.
Moving into our next story over in Marvel Land. Deadpool's Ryan Reynolds took to Instagram last week to post a graffitied over Avengers logo with the Anarchy symbol. There was no caption on the post, but fans believe there's a tease that Deadpool will appear in next year's Avengers Doomsday. If you'll remember, Ryan Reynolds was not on the chairs
The
that
5 hours of empty chairs.
I think it was longer than that.
Oh, it was
wasn't
much
Yeah, it was
longer
all
than
day
that.
thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, so his name was not on any of those chairs. But despite this, with last summer's Deadpool Wolverine grossing $1.3 billion, it makes sense if he were to show up in this movie to generate some hype for it. So, are we going to see Deadpool in next year's Avengers?
I mean, I would have been really shocked if we didn't.
Yeah.
Like, this is kind of like, yeah, it's news, but it's also like, I mean, we
Makes
figured.
sense.
Yeah.
I mean, we're already seeing stuff about other characters that will more than likely be in that movie than we saw in those listed chairs. Like,
Yeah.
for example, somebody asked Haley Steinfeld if her character was going to be in the new Avengers movie, and she said yes, and then it looked like she caught herself, and then embarrassed herself, and then so there might be some other characters that are not even mentioned yet.
Yeah.
So not
I
a
mean,
surprise.
the whole idea is to round up everyone ever that has like ever been in a Marvel movie and put them all into 2 movies.
So, are we thinking there's going to be another unveiling of more cast? Because this was like, what, 26 actors? Do we think there's going to be another 26 actors unveiled?
I
Or
don't
is
know.
that too many for one movie?
I mean, don't get me wrong, it's going to have a lot of people.
It's
But
like even Infinity War didn't have Hawkeye or a couple other people.
Sure.
They didn't show up until Endgame. So, like, is that going to be?
well, and that's true. They might not be in the first part because this is essentially a part 1, part 2. Again, we're not calling it that, but it is.
And like even at the moment, Spider-Man has not been announced for this movie.
Yeah.
So
And the chances are probably really good he's going to be in it.
Yeah.
So
It would be weird if he wasn't.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think because, and I don't know if this was clickbait or not, but apparently even Feige said that the conclusion of Secret Wars is going to reset the Marvel universe.
oh,
So it would bring back all of your dead characters and
yeah, he says something that no characters off limits to be recast now.
because they're essentially going to start over. Which makes you wonder, does that mean they won or they lost?
right.
So anyway, I'm excited. I this is honestly the most excited for Marvel I've been in a while.
Now, speaking of how excited we are for more Marvel things, we finally have our first look at Tom Holland's 4th take in his Spider-Man franchise. Brand New Day coming out next summer 2026. So, we finally have filming underway for this film. So we actually have our first look at his new suit. Have you guys seen this?
Yes.
Yes.
I have not.
Yes, the internet is going crazy for the aura farming.
Truly spoken like a youth.
Mm-hmm.
You're such a Gen Alpha.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
My bald spot disagrees.
So we do have our first official look at his suit. So it's very much a classic straight from the comics.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
60s classic.
Yeah, like
Mhm.
popping red colors, popping blue colors.
Looks like he made it in his bedroom,
Which we saw
like in a good
In-
way. Like
in the last Spider-Man movie.
correct for the last 5 seconds of
Yeah.
this.
Now, it's worth
No Way
noting this
Home.
is actually not that suit from that final scene in that movie.
It's very much the
It's-
same
it's
vibe.
Very
though.
similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's refined. Plus, I mean, let's be real. The only time we've seen quote unquote this suit at the end of No Way Home, I mean, that whole thing was CGI.
Boy, those web
Like,
shooters
it's-
look clunky. I'm so sorry.
No, I mean, like
Clunky.
it's I love it. I think it's great. I like that it's very much not the Stark suit anymore, which
Right.
was cool. That was a
Yeah.
cool phase. We'd never done that before.
The Iron Spider.
Yeah, the Stark suits
Yeah.
were awesome. He doesn't have access to that anymore.
Right.
But it still shows that Peter's a very smart guy. So no, I love it. I think this is going to be great. I'm excited to see Tom Holland doing a Spider-Man that's not a child anymore.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
He's putting the man back in Spider-Man.
So they were doing filming outdoors in Glasgow, I think, as well as a second location. They actually showed him doing some practical swinging from a crane.
That's sick.
Yeah. So actually had him like chasing tanks and stuff, which possibly is taking inspiration from the recent Spider-Man games on PlayStation. But there were an abundance of crowds out there taking photos of him, and like there were some amazing shots that were taking. Like,
So we're in Glasgow, Scotland?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
like look at these photos. Like he looks like
Yeah.
he's in the element.
And kudos to him for being a good enough of an actor that he's just out there doing his thing while hundreds of people take pictures. And
you-
it's kind of cool on Marvel for letting the crowds watch. Because, like, I mean, let's be real. It's 2025. They're all going to get CG replaced anyway. So who cares? Let them watch. If it gets hype going, this is free publicity.
Mhm.
Like,
Mhm.
that's awesome. Good job, Marvel people.
You know what? Actually, to me, the suit looks really reminiscent of the Tobey Maguire suit.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. But I also like that it's not crazy tight, which is kind of like what Andrew Garfield's suit did.
Right.
Like it had wrinkles and stuff. Like I love it. This is a vibe.
Yeah.
This is great.
I totally like it. It looks very comic book.
Yeah.
Accurate.
We're in the golden age of comic accurate suits.
It's because we've done so many things away from comic accurate.
Yeah,
suits.
like at
Now
this
we're
point, if
coming
we're gonna keep
back.
doing it, we need to just do it.
You got to go
Yeah.
back to true to form.
To quote the first Spider-Man movie, back to formula.
But anyway, that's all I got for you guys today. Not too much going on in the nerdy world of things, but we got some juicy stuff happening.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
And Punisher's gonna be in it.
Yeah, I didn't have any.
Let's
Punisher
go.
stuff.
I also heard that Hulk might be in it too.
He is in it. Yeah, that is
Oh.
a confirmed thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
we're very excited.
Okay.
It's gonna be good times.
Is it going to be
Old Marky
Ruffalo.
Mark.
yeah,
I mean, not Marky
Mark-
Mark,
Mark-
but Mark Ruffalo.
Mark
Mark
yes.
Ruffalo.
Ruffalo, yeah. I hope so. I really liked him as the Hulk, as David Banner, Bruce Banner.
No, the rumors are saying he's going to go back to being the Mad Hulk.
Yes, we're very
Oh,
excited.
interesting. Okay.
Savage Hulk is
So-
coming back.
So there's going to be a full split.
It's what it's looking like,
Okay.
which is
cool.
good. That's
Yeah.
again a logical, because we have seen him unsmart Hulk himself
Right.
because of post credit scenes and stuff like that. So we know he's ramified. He's resolved that issue.
Right.
Was a side effect of doing that being that they are now completely separate again.
Hmm.
Which, if they are, could be neat because in the comics, after everyone forgot that Spider-Man was Peter Parker, he's talking to the Hulk who can talk, and the Hulk says, "You need to calm down, Peter." And he says, "You remember me?" And he goes, "Everyone forgot, but the Hulk doesn't forget."
Oh, interesting.
And so
Oh, cool.
that could be
That's kind of cool.
that
So-
would be a cool scene to see come to life.
Yeah.
If the only person on the planet that remembers that Peter Parker's Spider-Man is the Savage Hulk.
That'd be pretty cool. I would like that. That'd be fun. That'd be
Yeah.
a fun nod to the comics.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the MCU again.
Whoa, bold.
Wow.
Bold. You haven't said that in a couple years.
Yeah, they haven't given me a reason to.
Oof.
I mean, they haven't done bad this year either. I think
No,
the
that's what I'm
MCU
saying. It's good.
Yeah, the
I feel
MCU
bad that Fantastic Four has kind of bombed a little.
Yeah, boy, did they have a drop off on
Yeah.
that second weekend.
Huge
They
drop-off.
didn't deserve it.
No, like it's
Okay.
it's
I'm going to say this. I I'm a Superman fan. Clear. Anybody who's been watching this channel knows it. I'm a Superman fan.
Really?
I enjoyed Superman more. Fantastic Four is the better movie.
Okay.
So
Fair.
I think Marvel just has a problem now, not with quality anymore. Like they're making good stuff. It's just now the only people going to see them are the Marvel fans. Like
Yeah,
it's-
the diehard.
They're not
fans.
getting the general audience
Because
anymore.
they lost
Yeah.
the audience.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, you can only turn out a couple of stinkers in a row before people are like, I'm over it.
Yeah.
They don't want to give it a 4th, 5th, and 6th chance.
Yeah.
I don't do that with people.
Dang.
Dang. All that said, thank you for tuning in. This is Eat Sleep Nerd, a show where you can check out Go F Gang and relax with us as we discuss all things nerd. This channel can be found at youtube.com/@EatSleepNerd. I forgot to do the head thing. Eat Sleep Nerd. Please leave a like on this video. Leave likes on the rest of our videos as well. Leave a comment on this video if you want to join in on the conversation. We'll make sure to reply to you if you say something nice. Please share us over on social media with your friends and family.
If you say something mean, we will find you.
No, never mind. Never mind. I don't want to encourage people to say mean things. Don't say mean things.
Be kind.
It does
It's
make
the
Corey
real punk
sassy
rock.
in the comments, but don't say mean things. You'll probably just get deleted.
Yeah. We don't do that around here. This is a safe place for
Right.
nerds. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep it nice.
And let's just be real. We don't get so many comments that we can't find and filter the mean ones.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
like, you're not gonna hide in the masses
Yeah,
here.
we'll be like, oh, did you read that asshole comment? Yeah, I already reported it. I'm like,
Yeah,
cool.
we deleted it.
Jason,
What?
3 things nerds should be doing before they go like the rest of our videos.
You should figure out what you're gonna have for your Eat Like a Hobbit day.
Because it's magnificent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was pretty fun so far. And then do some nerdy stuff. Do some self-care by allowing yourself to game for a couple hours or a half a day. Do those things.
Yeah.
Allow yourself to engage in the time-wasting activities. But beyond that, eat, sleep, and nerd.
Take it easy, people.